Hello everyone and welcome to part 2 of the Tokyo trip. Today was very stormy with loads of rain, but that didn't stop us from sticking to our plan. We quickly made our way to our first stop, Shibuya Sky. Up we go! It's a very famous viewpoint with an open air area and iconic escalators with view. Unfortunately though, as you can probably tell from the weather, the outdoor area was completely closed. However, we still went up to get a first glimpse and feel for the size of Tokyo in the indoor space of the viewpoint. And it's also a great way for me to show you what is still open and available depending on the weather conditions and how it looks like. So up we go. Now the real challenge begins, but at least it's funny to watch. Let's do it.
Thank you, Tokyo. Fun Tuesday.
Now we're basically entering Tokyo's designer vintage paradise. I was on the hunt for a timeless black bag that would last a lifetime, and there was so much choice, but the prices were very often close to retail, so it was a little too pricey for me. The selection was almost overwhelming, and we quickly realized we wouldn't find the perfect piece instantly, so I can highly recommend coming in with a plan, whether it's a specific model, material or logo you already have in mind, because you can get sidetracked very easily. While browsing around, I completely fell in love with this red vintage Chanel bag. Red still feels timeless to me, but unfortunately the strap just didn't sit quite right on me, so it wasn't meant to be. So we moved on to other models, shapes and forms, and it was so fun to try everything out. I found it so fascinating to see how many different patterns, stitchings, shapes, colors and logos existed with the same brand. As part of my shopping goal of finding a timeless bag, you see me trying on both caviar leather and soft lambskin styles, since I wanted to understand which I preferred on myself and which would truly last a lifetime. So the shopping journey continued, and it honestly felt like a dream for anyone who loves shopping, browsing, fashion and fashion history. I didn't have much luck finding anything besides stationery while shopping. With so many cities and days ahead, nothing really caught my eye enough to buy right away. And impulse buying can be very tempting when you're surrounded by so many beautiful vintage pieces, and some may even feel like a great deal. But I think it's always worth stepping away, sleeping on it, and taking time to rethink about your wardrobe first. And it also helps to research the pieces online and compare prices and availability on vintage sites back home. And remember, the best finds are the ones you don't have to question. So after a rainy day of sightseeing and shopping, it was finally time for a quick and easy dinner. Sushi. We chose a restaurant next to the hotel so we could keep things simple and head to bed early-ish because we're still jet lagged.
Auf geht's nach Hause. And another day is done. Good night. Good morning. Last full day in Tokyo. Onigiri time. Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there.
Kindly overlooking the fact that I still haven't learned how to unwrap an onigiri, the supermarket food was perfect for the morning and gave us the fuel for a quick start to a finally sunny day. Du reflektierst, hello! Good morning!
Morning.
Ohio!
Und wie fühlen wir uns an unserem letzten Tag?
In Tokyo, letzten Full Talk.
Wie ein Sushi in einer Folie eingepackt.
Let's go. Unfortunately, the one-size-fits-all sizing was not a match for me, and I didn't find any clothes that I could buy. So it was time for more matcha to re-energize ourselves, which was delicious. And then we headed off to the next spot for more browsing around and potential shopping.
On our way. It's warm.
Off to some new and some familiar stores. We went back to Amora Vintage since there was still so much to explore. I spotted this beautiful bag but didn't even realize what I was asking for when I tried it on. It was stunning but far too exotic and expensive for my needs. But what I really love in general about these stores is the chance to try on so many different models using different materials, shapes and logos. It also lets you see how they age and gives you the opportunity to compare and figure out what you truly love on yourself. After a long afternoon of shopping and browsing, we made our way to dinner, stopping by the famous Shibuya crossing along the way just before we headed off.
And where we ended up eating. The most random place, but super yummy and cheap. Let's go to have taiyaki. Oh, fish cookies. Let's go. See you tomorrow. And good morning. It is super early. I'm super dead. I'm super tired. But we need to do everything to see the freaking Sakura in every city in Japan once we're here during spring. So I have just finished getting ready, and I was pretty much packed yesterday. I did it until like 3 a.m. so I'm really organized and done. And I am off to go to Shinjuku National Garden because that seems to be a really good spot at the moment for Sakura. So let's go. Let's go. It was around 8:40 a.m. when I arrived at the park, and I had no idea how lucky I was to get there that early. To my surprise, there was already a queue and the entrance was still closed. Before coming, I had assumed it was a public park, but it turned out to be a gated national garden with a small entrance fee. Luckily, I was near the front, but only about 50 minutes later, I realized just how long the line would become. I was genuinely surprised by how intense the Sakura obsession was. And once inside, I decided to take a quieter path because people were actually running toward the nearest cherry blossom trees. And honestly, it stressed me out a little. So I chose a less crowded route, even though it meant searching a bit longer for the best Sakura views. Good morning. Ohio, Shinjuku National Garden. I'm searching for cherry blossoms. I do not understand the map, but let's see if I find them. arigato. Hoffentlich für mehr, Sakura. The last time, and now closing the backpack and leaving the city. Thank you, Tokyo. Arigato, Tokyo. Goodbye, tiny little Japanese hotel room in Tokyo. You served us well. But before we actually off to the train station, we're gonna drop off our suitcases downstairs and head to the Hero Shrine, which is right next to our hotel. We managed! Welcome to our most stressful experience in Tokyo Station. Despite using translation apps and asking for help, we ran into a lot of communication issues. In the end, we mostly relied on the signs to find our way, some were even circular, which I had never seen before, and they weren't always easy to follow since they didn't appear consistently for the same type of train. We ended up running like crazy with all 4 suitcases just to make it to our Shinkansen, especially since Japanese trains run exactly on time. But luckily, we made it to Kyoto, and that's for the next vlog. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it and subscribe if you want to see more. On to the next one. Sayonara.